Welcome everybody to our team call. It is Tuesday, November 7th, and we're going to be talking about how your vibe attracts your tribe. As far as like announcements, obviously the A Little Obsessed sneak peek is going on right now, which is the A Little Obsessed will release in December, and that will be like a week-long program, and correct me if I'm wrong. And then the actual 80-day obsession comes out in January. So that is really exciting. So be sure to be sharing that. It's an awesome way to share the 14-day free trial of Beachbody On Demand. What else was I gonna say? Oh, November to Remember. If you're not on a team, get on one or let me know and I can help you find one. They extended the cutoff day to tomorrow, so there's more time to sign up. I don't know why you wouldn't, because if you get Success Club 5, whether you or your teammate gets Success Club 5, the person who ever hit Success Club gets a really cute Team Beachbody hat that says TBB on it. It's kind of distressed. It's really cute. So if those are your goals, like, why would you not try to sign up? Christy, what's that face for?
My computer tried to make me force quit Zoom. So.
Oh, I thought you were like, ew, stop.
No, my computer was trying to get me to quit you, and I wasn't having it.
You can't quit me. Okay. Is there any other announcements? November to Remember, the Energize this month. Thank you, Laura and Kendra, for organizing that product of the month. You guys, it has taken me up until like a month ago to try Energize, and that's been out for a while, and I'm obsessed. Like, I want to work out because I get to take my Energize. It's like weird. So totally look into it, but definitely participate in that monthly challenge so you can share and win some free cool stuff. Any other announcements, Sindel, Christy, Natalie, Sarah, Laura? No? Okay, we'll get started. Okay. Oh no, where'd my... Okay. I'm just going to change the view. Okay, so tonight we are going to be talking about how your vibe attracts your tribe. And this topic is like something that I wish when I first started out as a coach, especially as a new coach, somebody would have shared with me. And even still today, I'm like talking to myself because our vibe and our attitude is what determines our success. So I know that I catch myself, especially when I went through this, like certain things that I'm like, shoot, don't think that way. Don't have that attitude. And I know being in it for a while, I know Christy, Sindel, you can probably relate as well. And it's so important to have a positive attitude when you go into this. I know for myself, when I was, whenever Beachbody On Demand came out about a year ago, when they announced it like 6 months before that, so what, about a year and a half ago, I remember being like, this is stupid. Like, this is so stupid. Like, why? Nobody's going to do on demand. Like, DVDs are so much easier. Like, whatever. And now, like, look at where Beachbody On Demand is at, right? I think maybe people thought that about Shakeology, new programs that have come out. Your attitude and your potential go hand in hand. So I probably could have shared so much more on Beachbody on Demand if I would have like had the right attitude about it and been excited about it. That same goes into our conversations. If you want to be a successful coach, if you want to be a successful anything, a mom, a successful wife, a successful human, your attitude is such a big deal. And I love John C. Maxwell because he is a great, he's an author, but he also is like a motivational speaker. He's just super smart, and he is faith-based, and that's why I love him. In all of his books, a lot of the stuff is faith-based, and I think that that's so awesome, and he's just super successful. So your attitude and your potential go hand in hand. Tonight, I'm going to share with you just a little bit about what attitude is. We're going to go through a self-evaluation, how your attitude determines your success and failures, and then how to have, and I don't normally like to swear, but for some reason I really like the word kick-ass vibe. It just, nothing else fits. Like, I've tried, even in some of my posts, I'll be like, there's no replacement for this word. And then we're going to cover some mantras and a tiny bit about personal development and that importance. So attitude. An attitude is an inward feeling expressed by a behavior. I feel like a teacher, but everybody knows what an attitude is, right? It's comes from inside though. So maybe it's not necessarily something you say. It might be something you feel. It might come across by the way that you have your face. Like if you're just like sitting here like, oh my God, Kate, stop talking. Do I really have to be on this call right now? Like your attitude is expressed by behavior. And I know like sometimes you're listening, but anyways, smile, right? You're excited to be here. An attitude makes some and breaks others. And I put this, I gotta like pull my notes up. I always forget what I'm gonna talk about. Think about a basketball team or a football team. When they start a game, they have to be in the thought process of, we're going to win, we can win this. If they think we're going to lose, they're automatically going to lose, right? There's a reason why doctors ask their patients to get in the mental state of having surgery of this is going to be successful, because their body naturally like reacts to that, right? And you're going to heal faster if you're in the mindset of like positivity. An interview, a job interview, your attitude is way more important than anything that you're going to say, like being spot on. It all comes down to attitude. And if we don't have a positive attitude, especially in coaching and in life, we're missing out on so much. So it's so important. And this is a fact, like if you want to be a top coach, if you want to be a good coach, not even a top coach, you have to have a positive attitude. You won't ever get there with a poor attitude, because your challengers, your team, the coaches that you are mentoring, they see that. And that's why it's so important. And it's so important in all areas of life. So these are just a few things that I hear all the time, things that I've said to myself, that are examples of having an attitude that needs to be improved, right? I like that a little bit better than like bad attitude. It's just an attitude that needs to be improved. And I can relate to each one of these because I felt that same way. No one's liking my posts. Nobody's commenting back on my posts. I'm not inspiring anyone. Everybody's saying no. I have nobody else to invite. I've went through my list. I've completely exhausted my list. I can't believe people aren't checking in my group. Like, where did everybody go? Why isn't anybody participating in our group? This just wasn't working fast enough for me. She would never be interested in something like this. Like that friend, like she's got a great job. She'd never be interested in something like this. Or she's already in shape. I'm not going to ask because she'd never be interested. I just can't catch a break. Everybody else is moving so much faster than me. Or maybe you might look to any of the leaders on this team and think like, their posts are just so much better than mine. Like I don't do that right, you know, or I'm not growing as fast as the girl that signed up as, you know, at the same time as me, or I'm not helping as many people. It just must be me. I'm so irritated that bot isn't working anymore. You know, going to our team page, and I can't think of anybody that's done this recently, but we've definitely had people do it. And they'll come on there and they'll complain about something like customer service or something like that. And it just like irks me, right? Because nobody's perfect. And when we come into things with these types of attitudes, it's toxic, right? They impact everybody that we talk to. They impact our next post. And you just kind of go, I don't know if this is for me, right? It's so easy. And I don't know about you, but I've had just about every one of these thoughts. So it's easy to get into that mindset. So I'm assuming most of you maybe have had some of these as well. Oh, puppy. Is that one Remy? Okay, so we're gonna do a self-evaluation. And these are just a few things like to think about. And this is in all areas of life. So the ones that I just talked about, like those are just a few things. And those are, you know, just things that we hear. They're in reference to coaching, but we wanna have a positive attitude in all areas of life, because one thing that I love about coaching is that it seriously just makes you a better person in general. Right? You grow in all areas of life. So if for some reason you decide, I'm not meant to be a coach, I hope that you look back on this journey, and I hope that you don't ever decide that, but I hope that you look back on this journey and you're like, that was like a pivotal moment in my life where I decided that I wanted to become better. So self-evaluation. Somebody who has an attitude that needs to be improved has an inability to admit wrongdoing. So maybe think about like everybody's saying no, or nobody wants to join me this time. Have you actually invited people? You know, like have you actually invited people? Or think about it with your spouse. Are you able to admit when you do something wrong? Failing to forgive, even when you didn't do anything wrong. Holding a grudge, right? That's hard. And that follows you in all areas of life. Petty jealousy. This, I think, is really, you'll see this more in coaching. And I think it might be because you can get jealous of other people's success, or you can wonder, like, what are they doing that I don't have? There must be something missing. I'm not doing something right, or she just is better at that, you know, that jealousy piece of things. Do you ever feel that way? Their race is going faster, right? Their pace is going faster. The disease of me. And that's about you rising to the top. And I think like sometimes that can be like thinking about rank, like it's me, right? I want to get higher, or this is all about me, me. My challenge groups, you know, that type of thing. A critical spirit. So if right now in your mind you're thinking, oh, Kate, this call isn't the best. This isn't one of your best calls. Could have you talked about something else? You have a critical spirit. I put this into perspective. I think of my grandma, and we were talking about a sermon once, or a pastor might have come up that was in our church when we were growing up, and it wasn't a pastor that necessarily fed our spirits, right? And my grandma stopped us all in conversation, and she was like, that's not our job. That's not our job to find something wrong with everything. Maybe that wasn't the best sermon, but you have to see the good in things. So don't tear things down, or there's always going to be something wrong with this thing or with this call or with this leader. You have to be the person that sees the good instead of being so critical. And the desire to hog all the credit. So that kind of goes into the whole disease of me. But if you're thinking like, I want to be a top coach, I want to be recognized to be a top coach, I want to get on the top 5 leaderboard on the team, and I want to be recognized to be that top person, and hog all the credit would be if it's a team thing. And I think that sometimes, like, you guys, my role and Christy's and Sindle's isn't to hog all the credit, right? As a team, and especially in Beachbody, it's pretty cool because our success and what we define as success, and I wrote this out in my thoughts, the most important measure of our success as coaches and that we've done well is that we've made our team better. We've helped more people be better and be successful. And that's why I think it's so exciting when you look at our top 5 leaderboard and there's other people on the top. Like, that's the best thing, right? It's not about who's higher up in some downline, because that honestly doesn't matter. It does not matter as far as success. We want to help each other be successful, and it's not about hogging the credit. And I think, like, as leaders, when you add people to your teams, you want to have that same perspective. Most bad attitudes are rooted in selfishness. And this is I'm learning from John Maxwell and Chalene Johnson, but they're rooted in selfishness, and I think that it's hard. It's hard sometimes to, like, admit when you're wrong. It's hard to sometimes admit when you are being selfish or your thoughts go that direction, even though you don't want them to. So bringing it back to coaching, what if you were a leader? And I'm just going to go back and let's just pick me out, right? If I was saying these things to you guys, nobody likes my posts. I'm not inspiring anybody. Would you want to join my team? Right? No. So wherever you are at in your coaching business, you've got to be that positive person. And you've got to think, I've got something pretty awesome to offer people. I'm unique. I have something to contribute, right? So you have to have that positive, I'm going to be successful in this. If you go into it thinking, we'll see where this goes. Well, you know what? You probably will see where it goes, and it probably won't go very far. You've got to be, I'm going to do this. And I believe in myself, and I believe in what I have to offer, and I believe in our team. So you have to have that mindset. Negative attitudes are toxic. And one thing to remember is that bad attitudes compound even faster than positive attitudes. So yes, positive attitudes are contagious, but negative attitudes are even more contagious, and that's why they're toxic. So if you get one person going, think of, like, in life, you maybe had a group of girlfriends and you'd gossip and it just would go into, like, bad, and then you'd talk even worse about things, or and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse, the topics that you're discussing, and it just is like people feed off of that. So that is natural. And that's why negative attitudes are toxic, because once one person goes, the next person goes, I've got it worse. Can you believe this? Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. Why are people like that? It just keeps going. So you've got to have a positive attitude and be that positive light that's contagious. And we've talked about negative attitudes, whatever, but let's talk about, like, how we can be more positive and how we can be, like, put this in, like, a bright perspective. Because even talking about negative attitudes makes me feel, like, gross. I don't like it. So how can we have that, like, kick-ass vibe that people want to be a part of? That people are like, dang, what is that girl on? Like, I want whatever she has because she seems happy. She isn't talking about people. She's posting stuff that just is exciting and like brings light to this awful like Facebook newsfeed that's like sad, and it just is something that people want to be a part of. So first you have to evaluate your attitude. And where are you at presently? So we kind of went through some of the self-evaluations, and I think I feel very confident in saying if you went through this list and you said, I don't do any of those, I'd say you probably should really think that you might need to evaluate yourself again, right? I always think about it in church when the pastor says, if you're listening right now and you're thinking about, oh, somebody else should really hear this message, you're probably the person that needs to hear the message, right? I know I've thought that about my husband. Like, Brennan really needs to hear this sermon, right? It's natural. But really, we got to turn that finger back. So evaluate your present attitude and just know where you need to grow. Nobody's perfect, but just know where you need to grow. This is what's going to get people to attract. What will attract people to you and to your team and to this awesome community and team culture. And that's what we want to offer compared to other teams. Like, we want to be the positive team. We don't want to have drama. We want to have like lifting each other up, right? So realize that faith is stronger than fear. So when you start out as a coach, you have to, or anything that's maybe scary or a change in life, you have to realize that you have to have faith. And that's got to be bigger than your fear. And that's your why and your vision, and you have to believe it. Let's see. So what might you be thinking about that scares you? And I go back to Christy's, I don't know if you've seen Christy's video in our team page, and she challenged everybody to share their why and their why not, you know, and what those things are. Those things are your fears, or those are the things that are holding you back. And so you have to like change it and reverse it and say, my faith is bigger than this. And I believe in this. And if you do, you're going to find success. If you kind of are like, I don't know if, you know, that's going to happen, then it's not going to. And I'm not going to say anybody's name, but I was talking with someone on the phone recently, and we were talking about something outside of Beachbody. And she was thinking about investing some money in a course. And she was worried. She didn't want to invest the money because it was a discussion with her husband, and they were discussing like, is this the right financial decision to make? And she was worried about spending the money because she didn't want, when she failed or if it failed, to be like, you shouldn't have spent that money. And I said, well, then you're going to fail because you're already going into it thinking I'm going to fail, right? You have to go into this coaching, into anything that you're doing in life, and think, I'm not going to fail. Yeah, you might have some setbacks, but my faith is stronger than my fear. And so you've got to think that about coaching. And so I'm going to go into some affirmations that Chalene Johnson shared after this. So we'll just skip past that. But changing your thought patterns. One cool thing to know is that we can control our thoughts. This is true. We can control our thoughts. It takes time. But our feelings come from our thoughts. So how we feel comes from our thoughts. So it's no different than like removing something. So for me, like, jealousy is an area that I struggle with, and I'll look at coaches and I'll be like, dang, that was a really good post. I would have never, ever shared it that way. Like, I just didn't think to share it that way. That was way better than anything that I would do. I quit following those people. I don't look, you know, I have to be tunnel vision on my business, on what I'm sharing. This is my journey. And even when I post on social media now, I don't really think about it too much because I don't care what anybody else thinks. That might not have been the best post, but this is me and this is my life and I love it. So I don't care. And I'm not going to look at what this person who's flying past me is doing, or this person who's right next to me, what they're doing. I'm focusing on what I'm doing. And so I get that out of my thoughts, right? Because I'm not putting it there. Or maybe you have negative people in your life, right? You've got to just slowly remove that negativity. You've got to put more positive people in your life. And that goes into surrounding yourself with positive people. And that's the vision that we have for our team. And that is what I see on our team. Like, it's not that we see negativity or anything, and that's why we're talking about it. But I think it's so important to really kind of go back to that and think about, like, what kind of mindset am I having? What kind of conversations with myself and maybe my success partner or maybe my team am I having? And you've got to surround yourself with those positive people and those people that are going to call you out on it and say, oh, whoa, what just happened? Okay, there. And say, hey, what are you thinking about? People that want you to be positive and want to lift you up. Okay. Mantras. Okay, so this is the part I love. And like, again, your attitude is the one thing other than food that you can control. Nutrition, it's just like nutrition. We can control that. Our attitude, we can control that. It takes time to grow and learn. But when we have some of these mantras in our back pocket, it makes it easier for us to just get in the habit of being positive. So these are from Chalene Johnson, and she shared, the first one is, okay, this is good because. So today I was doing my laundry, and this has nothing to do with coaching, but I was doing my laundry today and I didn't want to do it, and it totally sucks because I have to carry my baby on me with all of my laundry out the door to the laundry facilities in our building. I can't just toss it into my laundry. I hate doing laundry. And I didn't do it this weekend because I was lazy. So I said to myself, this is really good though, because I'm going to have a clean closet and I can have any outfit I want to choose from, right? And Chalene her is much more impactful, but she said she went into Beachbody headquarters and they have billboards of all of the trainers in their entryway. And it's subliminal messaging. They have bigger cutouts of the celebrity trainers that they want you to notice more. And she's always been the biggest version, so that people would see her. And she walked in once and she noticed she was now downsized. And she knew it, right? And it was really hard for her. And then she said, okay, this is okay. And it's good because I want people to see me as a business role model, not just a fitness coach. And this is good too, because there are other trainers that need to have their time. They need to be in the spotlight, So maybe you're thinking about your the top 5, that listing, and you didn't get number 1 spot or whatever it might be. Why is it good? Maybe someone on your team did awesome and they beat you, which is great, right? So find the good in it. The next one is, that's okay, I'll find a way. And I always think about this, I'm trying to put it into the coaching perspective. I always think of this as Success Club. Yes, we're focusing on Emerald Tribe, that mastermind, but Success Club is still so important, and it is still a non-negotiable in my business, non-negotiable. And it should be in anybody's business that is wanting to grow, right? And it's the last day of the month. And all of the people, this happens to me a lot, all of the people that I thought were going to join me, aren't, right? They've changed their minds. And the mindset is, that's okay. I'll find a way. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be seriously, you just bailed on me? Really? I'm going to say, that's okay. I'll find a way. I have lots of other people that I can connect with. I'll find a way, right? And the next one is, you know what? It's no big deal. It is no big deal. Maybe you didn't hit Success Club and you have a long record of hitting Success Club. Or maybe you had a post that was really personal to you and you shared it, and somebody maybe said something snarky to you, or a family member said something snarky to you about whatever you shared. And you just got to say, it's no big deal. It's not going to hurt me. That doesn't hurt me. It's okay. It's all good. The other one is, well, but the good news is, so whenever something negative happens or something bad happens, finding the good in it. It can and it will get better. Maybe you're going through a really hard time. I think of you, Sindel, right now. You're going through so much, right? You are opening a business that's not coaching, right? Where you're becoming owners in it, right? And you are opening up a restaurant and all kinds of stuff, remodeling the bowling alley. You have 4 kids, right? And they're all young. I can't imagine what you're going through. And I hope that you have the mindset, it's going to get better. It is. It will. It's going to get better, right? You're learning so much through this whole process of like creating business licenses and all the stuff that you're doing. Like that's the good news, right? You're learning all of that stuff. And then the last one is, I got it good. This one I have to say to myself a lot right now, because I sometimes play the comparison game, like, oh, I want a house, I want to have more space, I want a backyard, but I got it pretty good. I've got it really good. I have a beautiful daughter. I have a husband who works hard and who loves me. I have a business that I can run from home and be able to stay home with my daughter. Like, I got it good. She might have had an awful day today, and my dogs may have come in and destroyed the house because it was raining and I didn't have a towel outside and I had to end up cleaning, and I wasn't planning to. You know what? I got it good, right? Those are like small problems compared to so many other people that are going through things, right? Like the shootings in Texas, Las Vegas, like, you guys, we got it pretty good. So one person that might have told you no, that hurt your feelings, that doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter at all. We've got a pretty amazing life. We all have things that we're blessed with. And our attitude is one thing we can control. And I hope that you put that into perspective into your coaching business. And instead of thinking, nobody wants to join me, or everybody's saying no, or whatever is going through your mind, or I don't have anything to share on social media, like I do the same thing every day. And this is me, guys. I have the same routine every single day. And I'm like, what can I share today? Think of something, bring positivity. Like, I legitimately have the same routine just about every single day. You gotta find the good. And when you put yourself into personal development, you're gonna find that. You're gonna find things to share. You're gonna grow as a person. I probably spent the first 1.5 years of my business not doing personal development. I remember before coaching being like, self-help books, those are for real cool people. Talk me off of the ledge. I don't need a self-help book. These aren't self-help. I mean, they are self-help books, right, Christy? Just not. They're so important, you guys. I can't tell you how my mindset changes every single day, especially when I'm like wanting to have a pity party, or I'm like, poor me, or I'm just in a bad mood. I mean, I don't have a lot of those days, but I do have those days. I think we all have those days every once in a while. But when you put yourself into personal development, books, audiobooks, trainings, you're going to see growth in your business. You're going to see your attitude change. You're going to see probably one of the biggest like changes in who you are, because you just come with this positive energy. Like everybody around you is going to be more excited about it. They might not know what you're doing, but it's going to change who you are in a better way. It's not going to, it's going to change you, but it's going to make you better, right? It's going to be a better version of yourself. And I think we all want that, right? Because we want to share the good things that we have to offer. And if you come into any conversation, like if you're inviting somebody, they can clearly tell if you're having a good day or a bad day. It's all about how you're talking, your tone, how you respond, when you respond, you know. But if you put yourself into personal development, it's going to change. And it's going to change your business dramatically. These are a few recommendations. I have not read them all, and I picked just the ones that are focused on kind of this topic. For positivity, happiness, and energy, I have read The Energy Bus, and it's awesome. I listened to it. I highly recommend that one. As far as confidence, You Are a Badass is awesome. I prefer that one as Audible too. Girl Code, that's probably the book I read the fastest. I don't know why, but I loved it. One of the things that she shared in there that has stuck with me to this day, and not a lot of things stick, I kind of worry about my memory, but one of the things that stuck was, you can have a pity party. You know, somebody stole your idea. Somebody copied your post, somebody whatever, or everybody told you no this month. You didn't hit Success Club, blah, blah, blah. Have the pity party. Take 5 minutes, have your pity party, and then get over it. Grow up. Hold on. This is the last slide, don't worry. And then you can get off and be like, that was an awesome call, Kate. You're the best. Okay. I just have to share this because I was reaching out to, and we have so many positive ladies on our team, but I got some advice today from Sarah. Now let me see if I can pull it up. These are the people on our team. This is the awesome team culture we have. Okay, I'll just start mid. It's also because of the tribe. That saying that you are the most like the people you surround yourself with. It is so true. If you want to default to positivity, the best way to do that is by filtering the influences in your life. Bringing people bringing you down, cut them loose. Commitment making you crazy, say no next time. We are grown women, and our lives are what we make them. And yes, we have to do things we don't like. I get that. But we also have more power and control than we think. So my best suggestion is to start cleaning house. Start building your life intentionally. Cut what doesn't fulfill and keep what does. And things you can't cut, try to find a way to approach with a different perspective. When are you coming out with your next book? Anyways, it's so true, right? It's so true. Clean house. We're grown women. We get to decide what we're going to fill our minds and our thoughts with. And I sure as heck hope and pray that you fill yourself with the perspective that I can do this and I have something to offer and I don't care what this person says. Like, this makes me happy. This culture makes me happy. Taking care of myself makes me happy. Like, I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to be a part of this. Like, I honestly don't. I truly feel that way. That, like, right now, I truly feel like I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to be a part of this. And I hope you feel that way too. Because you should. Because that's important. If you want to impact others, if you want to grow this culture, if you want to change lives, you've got to have that perspective. Okay. That's it. Any questions?
I want a screenshot of Sarah's little quote there. That was pretty awesome. Kate, that was so good. First off, thank you for calling me out on all my wonderful things that I have going on. And I love the mantras because I'm like, I seriously need to print these off. And I probably could say every single one of those every single day. And the one that really stuck with me was that I have it good, because I have it so good. Like we all do, like what you said, like we all have it so good. But man, I had a pity party that was way more than 5 minutes today, like nobody's business. And you also just cracked me up that you thought your memory's failing, because I feel like that all the time, which is why I was really laughing hard. I was like, that's me. So that was such a great call. I loved it. I think I really needed to hear this message today. So thank you so much for doing it.
You're welcome. I always need to hear it too. Anybody else?
I'm a little self-alarmed that I'm every single thing on that list of things like wrong attitudes. I even was thinking about admitting that I'm wrong. And I'm like, I know I'm good at admitting that I'm wrong. But then I have like a million justifications for why I was wrong. That was like the other person's fault, right? Like, so I think it was good. And I appreciated you looking into that. And I'd like to throw a challenge out on the call. I think that, what Kate brought to all of our attention is that we need some more self-discovery, right, in order to move forward. And I did post a challenge on Friday just from my heart, not planned or not really in conjunction with this, but I see a few of you on here who have not taken that challenge. And I think that it's, if for no other reason, maybe it's not to move your coaching business forward, but it's to move you forward as a human being. And that's what I appreciate about your call tonight, Kate, is that this is, you're right. If we get nothing else from this coaching opportunity, it's moments like this where we get to learn and grow in a safe place. So I appreciate that.
Well, I think it's just so important for our team and our culture. And I think like Shalene even shared, like there are people that won't fit this culture and they won't change. And it's okay to say no or to not invite them. She suggested getting rid of them as fast as possible because it impacts you. And I don't know about you guys, but like when I see something negative, or it fills me, right? And it makes me go, oh, like what's wrong? And you've got to be that positive person, or the person that comes back with something like, hey, it's okay. Like, think about this. Like, this is going to make it better. Because it drains so much. And I think that's true in friendships, in your marriage, like every one of those lists too, Christy, I was the same way. I was like, oh gosh, especially with my spouse, like those are the people you love the most. So I think it's just like so important to like think about those things and then change and act on it and change those thought patterns. So
Kate, would you be willing to share like a screenshot of the slide of the mantras, like to the team page, maybe even in the comment section when you post the call?
Yeah, yep.
I couldn't get my phone. I was trying to get a screenshot of them and I couldn't get it to work.
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Hold on, I want to get since we're talking about this, I always forget. I'm like, I never posted about our team call. Okay. So beautiful. Okay. Got it. Did everybody else? Everybody else should be posting about this.
Hey, Christy.
Can we all get our phones out and all of us take pictures? Like everybody's phone be in the picture? We're going to be corny like that. Ready? Where's Laura? Laura, there you are.
Oh no.
This is what we do. We take selfies all day. We can be like, hey, wouldn't you like to get paid to take selfies and hang out with cool, positive people? You can. That's what we do. Kinda. We do a lot of other stuff too, but.
Hey, Christy, I have to tell you a tip, maybe. Do you have a Mac?
Yeah, I know how to do the screenshot. I just didn't get a chance.
Because you don't even need your phone. You can just on your computer.
Command for, yeah, I just didn't, I wasn't moving fast enough, and then I was.
Story of my life, girl.
I'm a mess today.
Guys are hopping on. I know throughout the holidays, so we're getting up on Thanksgiving and Christmas, things start to feel slow, right? And so I think it's just a good reminder, like pop on the calls, stay in it, because New Year's is coming, and this is like the most important time for people to be thinking of you, right? So every post matters, every invite matters, because at New Year's, when everybody's like, oh, I'm ready to make that resolution, they're going to be thinking of you. So just don't forget that. I feel like it's usually the hardest time in the coaching business. You can have it, you can change your perspective and be like, hey, let's not gain weight throughout the holidays. This is just going to keep us on track throughout the holidays. But don't be frustrated as well, because it is a harder time to do that. But I think we can prove that wrong and continue to like just make an impact on people's lives. So, okay, guys. I hope you have a good night. And Cyndall and Christy, were we going to stay on? Okay, so we just stay on here. Okay, let me stop.
Please.
Bye.